very good morning to you. 5 minutes past 8 on the clock, and you're listening to the Morning Fix on Radio 44 100.8 FM in Nairobi City. You're watching live on radio44.co.ke. With me in the studio is Monisha Mahajan, Principal Attorney at Legal Help NRI. She is an experienced and dedicated lawyer who focuses her practice on persons of Indian origin and non-resident Indians, or like we call them, NRIs. Monisha, welcome to Radio 44. Pleasure having you here. Now, I understand you've been practicing law, especially for the niche market, NRIs only, right? So tell us a bit about yourself. 18 years of doing this, how did it all start?
Good morning, Bhargav, and good morning to all the audience here listening to us. Bhargav, it's been actually more than 18 years working for this niche market for people who are unable to travel to India, people spread across the globe, people who need help in India to resolve issues. Well, when I talk about issues, I'm not talking about disputes, anything and everything. So yes, it started 18 years ago with people coming to me seeking help, and they were unable to travel to India. They had issues with lawyers, and that's where this entire thing started, where I started finding ways and means to bridge the gap for people who are who cannot be present in India, yet their matters have to be solved.
Okay, super. I love that. It's exciting to find out about these things, especially since I don't know anything about law. So I'm going to be asking her a lot of questions. You too can ask her questions that you probably have boiling inside of you, especially if you can't travel to India, as she mentioned, but she can help you sort all those issues, not just disputes that are happening in India. 0758 123 444 is the number to reach us on. She's going to be here for this entire hour, so hit us up right away. The number is the same, 0758 123 444. We're right here on the Morning Fix, waking you up and waking Monisha Mahajan up as well. Right here in the studio, she's the Principal Attorney at Legal Help NRI. Now, you are, the owner of Legal Help NRI as well. Tell us more about your organization. What does it do? How do you help? You did mention about, over 18 years of experience in terms of resolving issues that are in India. But exactly what is Legal Help NRI?
What a question. So as the name suggests, Bhargav, it's legal help and for NRIs. So what we do here is for people, like I said, people unable to travel to India, people who cannot be present 24/7 to supervise their issues, their matters anywhere and everywhere in India. That's what we do. We bridge the gap for them. We are there to assist people who are there who cannot be present in India. Now, I'm not going to go on and about this inability to be in India, but I'll tell you what we do. So I'll give you examples for people who've got land back home, properties, banking issues, people who cannot manage their taxation part, people, inheritance. Now, let's say there are people here from the second or the third generation have no clue what India is all about, how the systems work, how they have to get their properties transferred. People have their parents' assets there. They need to get that transferred to their names. They want to sell it off. They want to bring the money to their country of residence. So let's say from getting a document to getting the money to their country of residence, that's what Legal Help NRI does. Now, one more thing, which everybody asks, that where are we based? Where do we operate? And what countries do we look at? Globally present, that is one. Now, when we talk about India, because our operations are in India. So when we are looking at issues, we are looking at issues not only in Chandigarh, where the head office is, but we look at Punjab, Gujarat, Bengal, south of India, Bombay, Delhi. Yes, we do hold ourselves back in some parts of Uttar Pradesh or Bihar. But yes, anything and anywhere in India, we have a panel of about 400 lawyers across India. So people working with us together. And of course, like you've been introducing me as a principal attorney, I am surely the owner of the firm, but we have a huge firm back home. But the firm, when you talk, we're not only talking about the legal bit. It's not only going to the courts. I'm also talking about departments, about banks, taxation, so everything here. That's what Legal Help NRI does for you.
Oh, wow. Over 400 lawyers working in unison with Legal Help NRI. Clearly, you are in for some good attorney advice. nice. That's all I'm going to say. So you have mentioned that you are available in almost all the states of India. You do hold yourself back in a few things to do with UP, Bihar sides, but still documentation and stuff like that can be done for those states, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's a new thing that everybody requires their birth certificates. People require some documentations for their properties, something to do with their nativity certificates. So yes, we help them with all of that. Yes, when it becomes disputes where, possessions have to be taken over, yes, there we hold ourselves back in those areas. But yes, there are a lot of citizens, the Indian diaspora, who cannot look after their possessions or document, the execution of their work. So everything, yes, we do that.
So basically, there's nothing like specialization. They do everything and everything.
Yes, except immigration.
Yeah. Well, that we leave it to the immigration officers. We'll just leave it to them. But Legal Help NRI is the place that you need to go to, whether you have any sort of challenges when it comes to India, and especially if you cannot make it there, you need to get in touch with Monisha Mahajan right now here on Radio 44. Hit us up on 0758123444. We're going to be talking about the services that are available, which he already mentioned, the common legal issues as well that NRIs generally face. The only thing that I know about NRIs facing issues whenever I've traveled to India is banking. My dad keeps banking. That's all. That's all I see. Oh, I have to visit this bank. I have to visit that bank. That's all that's happening over there. So Legal Help NRI can help you achieve your goals when you step into India, or even when you're away from India. All of that can be done.
Radio 44.
So I have Monisha Mahajan with me, the principal attorney at Legal Help NRI. She is here to talk about all the things that Legal Help NRI does for you, especially if you cannot visit India, to sort out any of the issues that you might have with paperwork, with some disputes, with land, banking, and all the other things. Apart from immigration, as she said, she specializes in everything, and all the services are available for almost all the states in India. But Monisha, my question to you is, what are the most common legal issues that NRIs have to face? And also from your experience, what has been the most common area of dispute? Is it that mere baap ne ye le liya, mere baap ne wo kar diya?
So yes, typically, like you said, well, what do you think would be the most popular issue for NRIs?
I think it's that. I think it's land, or having some sort of legal battles with your other, cousins or kakas, or things like that.
Rightly said. So the Indians have a unique thing of getting attached to their properties and the immovable assets and the tangible assets. So yes, that's what brings Legal Help NRI here, is that yes, people have got issues with their land. Land is one of the primary disputes. Now, there's a difference between disputes and issues, like I said. So when you talk about disputes, they are primarily land. People who came and migrated to countries 50 years ago, or maybe even earlier than that, and never gone back to see their assets. Now, the people who are living there locally are the people who've taken over the land now to get their land back. So we have concerns. That's number one. Mm-hmm. So that's relatives or a third party. People have taken over land. It can be a kaka, mama, chacha, taya, anybody. Somebody is just taken over. Yeah. Because the value, you have to also understand, the real estate in India post 2004 has phenomenally appreciated. So whether it be the person here or across the border, they both have interest for similar reasons, and attachments, of course. That's one thing. Now, something that people don't talk about when people talk about NRIs, they talk about land, but more than that is a concern for people is banking and successions. Our dearest NRIs have families or their parents who had deposited money and have truckloads, whether truckloads or not, a significant amount lying in their banks for years or maybe decades together. And now, how do you get a claim to that money becomes a primary issue for people living here. They cannot travel to India. They don't have documentation. So we do this that for people who've got money of parents, succession is one important thing. Second is people who have money themselves parked in India. Today, India is stringent on documentation for taxation, your OCI cards, your PAN cards. Everything needs to be in place before you can get a cent out of the country. So when you talk about what concerns do NRIs really have, in terms of dispute land and properties, their houses, their ancestral houses. Second is issues when I talk about is money in banks and getting money of what rightfully belongs to them is that of their parents, which has been parked in the banks over the years. One more thing which is really coming into light in the last 5 to 8 years is daughters claiming a right on the ancestral properties.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, being a female, I'm not a feminist though. But then yes, with this law coming, the amendment coming in, a lot of people mistake it for a lot of other things. But then daughters from day one have had an equal right in whatever belonged to their father unless they left a will. Now, the difference that has come in for married daughters claiming a right in ancestral and Hindu undivided family properties. Do you want to discuss it now or do you want to discuss it after the song?
We can discuss it after the song. This is going to be a long one because I also have questions for it. What happened? That's something that actually happens, right? If the daughter has been wedded off, that means she doesn't be a part of the family anymore. That's so weird. We're going to be talking about that and much more right here with Monisha Mahajan, Principal Attorney at Legal Help NRI. If you have any issues right now, call me up 0758 123 444. If you just want to chat and don't want to talk to her person to person, hey, that's also okay. WhatsApp us 0758 123 444.
Radio 44.
Monisha Mahajan with me from Legal Help NRI. We were talking about the disputes between, families about property, especially if you are away from India, someone has come there, some relative of yours has claimed the land, you want it, she can help you out. But what happens with the daughters who are wedded off and then they are just like, ab to wo parai kar ki ho gayi.
How mean is that back? But taking on to that. So, there's a mindset here and it's always been the mindset of Indians, whether it be Punjabis or Gujaratis, I won't ever say that. So it used to be that the sons would get most of the properties and that's how it would be written in the will. So people earlier on did wills and wrote that everything goes to the sons. And I don't know, for some reason, it's a mindset here that everything still goes to the sons. Whereas the law is very clear and categorical. The daughters, sons, widows, mothers all have a right in the property. It's not only the sons or the widows would get. Like in the Western countries, people, there's also one more confusion that people feel that in the Western countries, the next of kin is the spouse. India, no, the next of kin is not the spouse. The next of kin is all your children, legitimate, illegitimate, and your widow and your mother for a male. For a female, it is your children, your husband. They get an equal right in the property. Now, coming on to the daughters' right, like I said, daughters have always had a right in the property. The only thing they didn't have a right with the married women in the ancestral or the Hindu undivided family property, which post 2004, the law made it clear that daughters could claim a right in the Hindu undivided family properties too. And believe me, I get so many queries. It's one of the concerns for people and women who have not been given a right, or they feel that they should have a right or they should have something to do from their ancestral properties. Yes, they have a right, they can contact us, they can claim a right, but again, it's each case to case basis. It's not something automatic that, there is an ancestral property, there is a woman and she's married off, that she has a right. If the right has already been given or the property has already been sold or inherited by the brothers or everything, then she has to go to the court and claim the right.
Fair enough. So that is something also that Legal Help NRI can help you. Of course, as mentioned, it's a case-to-case basis. So you will need to give entire input to them for them to come out with a resolution for you. Now, also talking about, Legal Help NRI, how is it different from the others, or do you have a lot of competition when you go? Because you're around the world, and you're also helping people pan-India.
Well, you answered it yourself, that I'm across the world and we work on a pan-India basis, so that makes us different from a lot of other lawyers. See, lawyers, doctors, accountants present all across the world and they're offering the same services. But what makes me and the firm different is our experience of 18 years, not that I can change the law in India. I can't do any of that. The law is going to remain the same. The process is going to remain the same. What makes us different is understanding the need of a person who I have said is unable to travel to India. The communication is the key for us. Personally, what I understand from a client, the first meeting we have with the client is what is their objective, and we make a strategy based on their objective. It is not like a thing that, okay, he has a property, he needs to vacate it, just file a case. No, I do not personally believe that everything has to go into the court to get it resolved. There are so many ways and means to resolve an issue, and that's what makes me, my firm, different from people who are spread across, would be doing a similar kind of thing. And yes, of course, we work on a pan-India basis and we are spread globally.
Perfect. So that is why you need to get in touch with Legal Help NRI. And how exactly do they do that?
Okay. Number one, our website is www.legalhelpnri.com. Our number, which is 011-220-9963. I'll repeat the number, 011-220-9963. You can contact us. This is our local number. You can get in touch with us anytime. And of course, email is the best form, which is query@legalhelpnri.com.
Super. So you have got it from Monisha Mahajan, the principal attorney at Legal Help NRI. If you have any questions for her, now you know where you can contact her. And any parting thoughts that you might have, Monisha?
Yes, Bhargav, a request to the audience. I'm sure everyone has something to do with India, and they are looking for advice, and they just feel that, maybe I'm the right person or not, or whether they want to discuss their issue, because I do understand this country and this city is a small city, and people think that information goes out quickly. One thing about us, everything that we discuss with you is purely confidential. Secondly, I'm here till the 5th of February. You can book in a direct meeting with me and at least take advice on how you want to proceed further. Whether you go ahead with how you need to proceed further is up to you, but at least that I'm here. Please take full advantage of the fact that I'm here and take advice. Get your documents, get them reviewed, and that consultation is free of charge.
There you go. What more do you need? 3 things. That's all that we require. So come on, hit her up straight away. You could visit legalhelpnri.com and get all the information that you need. Book an appointment today because she's here till the 5th of February only. Get all that free consultation that you might require, free advice for how to go about things that are disputed in India, whether by your relatives, whether by the bank, whether it is anything to do with disputes in India. She's here to help you for that. Thank you so much for coming by to Radio 44. It was a pleasure having you here, Monisha.
Thank you, Bhargav, and thank you for all to all the listeners.
Cheers. Bye-bye.